The Age has this morning confirmed that Pauline Hanson used party funds to pay for a 5-star London hotel during her recent European trip, and that included keeping rooms vacant while she flew off to Italy to catch up with Gina Reinhardt, joining us to discuss today's headlines. Shadow Treasurer Tim Wilson in Melbourne and Independent MP Dai Le, who's with us in studio. Tim, starting off with you, what do you think? Is it better than using taxpayer funds? Where does this stand?
We have people who donate to her party from their limited savings. They're struggling to get ahead, and now we find it's going towards luxury hotel rooms in London, Dolce & Gabbana fashion shows, luxury hotel stays in London. I'm starting to see images of global elite, and this seems like a pretty clear betrayal of the people she claims to represent.
Yeah, well, Di, on that, I mean, this is someone who is effectively positioning herself as a champion for the everyday battler. Do you think, though, that these rusted on One Nation voters would actually care, or they'd say, go for your life?
Look, I don't think voters will care at this stage, from my perspective. And I think that, look, the party funds, they have got party rules, and how you spend that party funds, that's up to the party, you know, and it's not taxpayers' money. So it's to the people who donate it. And so she's not using taxpayers' money to book for 5-star hotels. So I have no doubt that, you know, there are rules and regulations around spending within the party rules. So at the moment, let's focus on really what matters to people in Australia, and that is absolutely the cost of living, cost of the rising fuel. The price have gone up, and that's probably hurting people more than focusing what Ms Hanson spent using party funds.
Well, let's talk about actually pollies who have been using taxpayer funds for travel, because, Tim, we're learning this morning that several politicians, including ones from your own party, spent thousands of taxpayer funds bringing their families to Canberra during budget week. Does this pass the old pub test?
I've no doubt there'll be always, you know, if you take anything to the pub test, politicians spending money, it will virtually never pass the pub test. There's a simple process where politicians can fly to Canberra, and sometimes it involves family reunification because they spend half their year away, and so people take advantage of it. Do I think that the public will accept it? Probably not, but the reality is it's part of their terms and conditions work, like everyone has terms and conditions at work.
All right, we'll move along now, because new polling has revealed that almost 3/4 of Victorians want the infamous Dan Andrews statue proposal scrapped. Tim, a statue like this, you know, we're talking maybe Stalin, Kim Jong-un. Maybe this is perfect for the socialist state of Victoria to have Dan immortalised in bronze.
Well, I'm currently in Church Street in Brighton. I can assure you this is not a socialist state, and this is not a socialist town, and we are going to liberate it with a fresh start come November 28. But, you know, I don't think Dan Andrews should want this statue, frankly, because I think it's a serious risk of becoming a public urinal if it's erected. Today we have Ben Carroll, the new Premier, out there saying that he's cutting back on major public projects because the state can't afford it. The first minor public project that should be cut should be Dan Andrews' statue, because that does not sit on any hierarchy of a single Victorian and their priorities, so they can get to home, be able to support their family, get to school, get a bed at a hospital, or, of course, be able to improve the standard of living in a state that has seen a rapid decline under this corrupt, cartellish Labor government.
Di, what I find so fascinating about this is that there is one person that could stop this statue in its tracks. That's Dan Andrews. He could just come out right now and say, I don't need a statue, guys, don't worry about it. Yet he wants it. There
should be no statue for a politician, full stop. And yes, he should say, no, listen, guys, I'm a public servant. I was there to serve the state, and that's it. No need to have idolised me in a statue. But really, no politicians should have a statue to their name.
Here. Finally, now you've heard of looks maxing, heard of money maxing. What about friction maxing? Apparently this is a new buzzword with the youth that describes when young Aussies do things the old-fashioned way. You know, no shortcuts, actually put in the work. Tim, think cooking from scratch instead of ordering out, wrapping a present instead of a gift bag. What does friction maxing mean to you?
It's quite interesting, isn't
It sounds like I've been friction maxing my entire life. You know, I've always tried to either cook things from scratch, or I go to the supermarket myself and buy things at the local Woolies or Coles or Aldi or wherever it is. So, look, everything old is new again, I think, is the conclusion. Believe it or not, to those people who think friction maxing is a new thing, if you do things for yourself and you take the time, you get satisfaction. I highly recommend gardening, because you actually get to plant and then you get to watch things grow.
So deep,
Yeah,
so deep.
God, yeah. I don't know. Gardening, yeah, that's definitely friction with the soil and everything and the bugs there. But, you know, absolutely. I think let's take it back to the 80s, to the 90s. If that's friction maxing, I don't know. I liked a bit of friction there, but you know, we do start from scratch, cook all the time and all of that. Cleaning, house cleaning, is that friction maxing?
Apparently. Claim it.
Yeah.
Run with it. All right. Great to see you, Di. Tim, thank you.